right, dime mi gente, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Let me go ahead and get on live on Instagram here as well. I'm gonna turn on TikTok as well. We're gonna do three platforms today, just because we need to catch up on a lot of things. We need to catch up on a lot of hours watched, and so hopefully this live will represent the crossing of the 2,000 public watch hours watched on YouTube. Hopefully that will be the case. Hello, Instagram. How you doing? I don't know. Can you see my face on Insta? It doesn't seem like you can see my face. Okay. You probably could hear me right now though, right? That you probably could do. Let me see if I can move my screen around to kind of at least put me somewhere in the middle. Let's see. Well, does that work, Instagram? Let's see. I'm gonna check it out here. In the meantime, folks, thank you for joining. All right. Yeah, it does work on Instagram. There you go. Thank you for joining. All right, this is Travel Football Fan. I'm helping fans save money and travel the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Wanted to hop on here again. We're gonna do multiple things here. Okay, so we are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. Okay, if you want to watch the full screen on YouTube, you can. Okay, because I know it might be a little bit complicated here on Instagram to see it, fully. But this will hopefully represent the crossing of the 2,000 watch hours threshold. Okay, for getting monetization on YouTube, okay? Because right now we're at 1,998, 1,998 public watch hours. We need to get to 4,000 to get to full monetization, and so hopefully today we will cross that halfway point in that respect, okay? For those of you joining on Instagram, thank you for joining. I'll be able to chat with you. I figured out how I'll be able to chat with you folks there on Instagram. If I don't keep my face here right in the middle, folks, that's because I'm trying to show as much of the content on my screen. But if you rather see the full image, you can go ahead onto YouTube and meet us there, okay? Let me go ahead and get TikTok going as well. Let me make sure mic's working. Yep, mic is working. Everything's good to go. Awesome. Okay, so of course, drop your questions in the chat, all right? Both on Insta and on YouTube. Drop the questions in your chat in case you any questions you have. Not only so much about the FIFA Collect Packs, but anything World Cup related, Club World Cup related, go ahead and drop your questions there as well, okay? Because this is a pretty interesting subject to talk about today, and I wanted to do it more in a live format to be able to answer questions rather than like a set piece video. I do need to create more set piece videos, don't get me wrong. I do need to do that, but this FIFA Collect Pack stuff has been very interesting because I really wasn't tracking it for a while because I was just kind of dismissing it as, oh, you just have to collect NFTs, and I'm not really into the NFT. I'm not into NFTs. I mean, I'm not familiar with them or anything like that. But then obviously you started getting these questions about, exactly, Kevin. What are these packs? Some of these packs ended up having some random perks, especially those right to buys. Are those right to buys worth it to pursue, or are they worthy of your time, of your attention? And so that's why I wanted to spend time here and talk about this, okay? And you're right, Kevin, on Instagram. You're absolutely right. We've never seen tickets sold in this format where you're having a right to buy, where you're having to collect packs, convert those packs into right to buys, or in some of these packs being, pretty much having the right to buy right away. They're really trying to, use psychology on all of you, on all of us, in order to do that, okay? They're really, really, really trying to just use the high demand that they're anticipating for the World Cup against us in that respect, and then thus find these packs right here. Okay, so TikTok, thank you for joining. Okay, I am live on YouTube. Okay, live on YouTube. If you want to see the full screen, I am reviewing the packs there on YouTube. But if you just want to listen in, or if you want to follow along on your own computer, on what is this, collect.fifa.com/drops. We're going to be reviewing a lot of those FIFA packs to see what is going on, because I've been doing a series on TikTok of these packs, okay? The review is there on TikTok. I have it in a full playlist, and so if you want to check those out, you can go ahead and check those out as well. But yeah, let's get right into it then. So the latest pack that has recently dropped, okay, has been this one by that's called the Right to the Final, okay? And so the whole premise of the Right to the Final is that the pack is not worth $1, by the way, okay? First things first, let me move myself here a little bit out of the way. The pack is not worth $1. Okay? That's kind of first thing first. Okay? And that is very deceptive by FIFA. Because to say that this pack is worth $1 is completely false. Okay? It's completely false. Okay? When we click on this pack, okay, we're going to see if your team makes the final, so will you. That's the whole premise of the pack, okay? And it's called the Dream Ticket Bundle. So you will get tickets to the Club World Cup, which we'll see which are those tickets in a minute, okay? But you would get tickets for the Club World Cup, but then the premise then kind of is intriguing because then this is where you don't see that it's $1, okay? These packs are either worth $1,499 or $999. It completes. I mean, like, how much more can you try to get people off of their money than with this little weird premise, okay? Of, yes, it's either going to cost you $1,499 or $999 based on potentially how good your team is. That's basically what we're going with here, okay? It's basically dependent on how good your team might be for this World Cup, and then, or rather, how, what are the likelihood that they make the final, okay? And so then that's where we decide whether it's $14.99, not $14.99, $1,499, or $999. So you pay $1,499 for a team, and if they make it, you go to the final. That is correct. That is correct. Okay? That is correct. All right? I got some other questions here on TikTok, which I'll get to in a second. Go ahead and repeat your questions. I'll get to them in a second. But let me answer this one on Instagram. Okay? Yes. The whole premise is, okay, you pay $1,499 or $999, depending on your team. And if they make the final, you will have the right to buy for the final. Again, the right to buy, which means you need to have an additional amount of money to then be able to purchase this, okay? To purchase the World Cup ticket at that time, right? But right now, what would you get? So let's say you're a fan of Argentina. Okay, so let's click buy on Argentina, okay? Don't worry, I'm not going to buy any of this, okay? I trust me, I cannot afford buying these tickets at this time. Woo, that would be a bad mistake, okay? You might as well bet and take that money to buy a future ticket. You might as well, right? You have to buy the ticket as well, though. Correct. So that's what the whole concept of the right to buy is, okay? The right to buy is basically you're buying the right to buy the other ticket, okay? So again, Instagram, I'm sorry if it's not fully clear on screen here. That's why I'm doing this live stream on YouTube if you want to join us there. But, I know the screen looks a little chopped up. Maybe I can drag the screen a little bit, maybe overload this way. We'll try to help you out here, okay? So the right to the final bundle includes the following. You will get 3 tickets to select FIFA Club World Cup matches. They do not tell you what games you would go for the FIFA Club World Cup. So that's the first red flag in my opinion. You're paying $1,500 basically, right? $1,409. Let's just say $1,500, okay? You're paying $1,500, okay, for 3 Club World Cup matches. So in effect, right, and they kind of do break it down for you at least. You are in effect buying $500 worth of $500 value tickets for each of these 3 Club World Cup games, which they do not tell you what category or what game it is. Because I think that's really important to understand here. If they don't tell you what game it is, okay, that's a problem. Okay, that's definitely a problem. Right? They don't tell you the game. Okay, so am I going to go see like the 2 worst teams in this tournament play? That's not smart, right? That's not really smart. But then also, what's the category? Because they could send you to book Bayern, I think might be one of those matchups, but then still send you category 3. Is that worth $500? My opinion, no. Okay? And then you get those 3 tickets to the Club World Cup, and then you get the one right to buy if your team makes it. So I think this pack, of all the ones I've seen so far, I mean, how can I not use the word scammy? How can I not use the word scammy? FIFA's basically saying, pay $1,500 worth of tickets, which is basically 3 tickets. Okay? Buy $1,500 worth of tickets, which equals 3 tickets to the Club World Cup. And if your team makes the final, you go to the final. How is this not scammy? Right? Carlos A on YouTube. It's a huge gamble that your selected team will make the World Cup final. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it at all. Okay? So TikTok. I know I'm not sharing the screen. That's why I'm on YouTube Live. I'm on Instagram. It's not really showing up too well on Instagram, but folks on Instagram, thank you for being patient with me here. Okay? We're talking about the recent FIFA Collect drop pack. It's called the Right to the Final. Okay? That's the one I'm talking about. Right to the Final. Okay? And it's these packs where you pay $1,500 for 3 Club World Cup tickets. And if your team makes the final, you get to go to the final. The point is to watch the final. Yeah, but it's just wild. It's just wild that FIFA's saying you need to pay $1,500 to go watch 3 Club World Cup matches that they decide. Okay, that they decide. And then if your team makes the final, cool, you go to the final. My advice would be yes, to absolutely not buy this pack. Okay, we're going to review some other packs that are available right now. And I would just wait till the sale in September. Okay. Now, we can take a look at some of the other teams that are listed in this huge list. Okay. And question here on TikTok. Let me answer some TikTok questions. So you're gambling with $1,500 on your team making it to the final, and it's only a right to buy. Correct. You're not even getting a ticket. So basically what FIFA's trying to do is, with these FIFA Collect Packs, for the most part, okay, with perhaps some exceptions, is that they want you to buy tickets to the Club World Cup so that way they can say, we had a successful Club World Cup. And here's all these worthless RTBs, right to buys, that might get you to a good game, but will probably not give you a good game, because why would we give you a good game? That's kind of what's going on here with this, okay? And if you see here the list, and I know TikTok, again, I'm not showing the list here on your screen. I'm going off on collect.fifa.com/drops. If you look at the list, it's basically $1,499 for Argentina, Spain, France, England, Brazil, Netherlands, Italy, USA, Mexico, Canada, Portugal, Belgium, and Germany. We have to be really realistic here. The US, Mexico, and Canada are not making the final. Let's just, can we all agree to that? Can we all agree to that? Can we all agree that the USA, Mexico, and Canada are not making the final? You know? Instead of buying the ticket, might as well go to put on a bar rate just to attract buyers for Club World Cup. Yeah, it's just this is purely to attract buyers for the Club World Cup. And it's not even the PESI fans, because Portugal is in the 1,499 list. Portugal, Belgium making the World Cup final? Probably not. Germany making the World Cup final? I mean, they got to prove it. Italy's got to prove it. The Netherlands? Maybe. Brazil, definitely not making the final. So realistically, the countries that will make the final out of this entire list, Argentina, Spain, France. Realistically, I think we could all agree with that. Chat, let me know. Let me know in the chat if realistically those would be the countries that realistically could make the World Cup final. Argentina, Spain, France. You maybe throw in England, maybe if you want to be nice to England. But that's probably who makes it. You know? At this point, I think this is just for the economics people to say the Club World Cup was a good event because people were able to attend. Or even more so, buy the tickets. I'm going to discard Brazil because Brazil's had a terrible World Cup. Morocco, 2 trust. Okay, so let's look at that list. And Ish, thank you for joining over here on TikTok. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm doing YouTube Live right here, reviewing the FIFA Collect Packs. We are reviewing the... what's this damn pack called? Hold up a second. Sorry, fam. I need to make the dream ticket bundle. I think it's what it's called. Hold on. Let me confirm the official title of this pack. The right to the final pack. Okay. Thank you, Ish. Thank you, Ish. Really appreciate you. All right. So there's these other teams. These like dark horse teams. Colombia, Croatia, Morocco, Uruguay, and Japan. So if you think any of those teams will make the final, you pay $999 and you get 2 tickets for the Club World Cup. 2 tickets. Not even 3. You still get 2 tickets, fam. So it doesn't really make any sense. You're paying for three separate, or in this case, for those other underdog teams or for the dark horse teams, you're paying $500 per Club World Cup ticket, which FIFA does not tell you which Club World Cup game they're going to give you, and they do not tell you what category ticket you're getting. You could easily get Alain versus Wydad here in DC, category 1, and you probably wouldn't value it at $500. Let's just be honest. You probably would not value that ticket at $500, even if it was category 1, because of the quality of the teams that are playing in that match, right? I think we are okay to say that with no disrespect being given to those teams. Okay. Yeah, these packs make no sense. Okay, these packs absolutely make no sense for you economically. Okay, financially, I probably should have said it. Financially, they make absolutely no sense because, again, you get the right to buy if your team makes it. So if I'm going to put $999 down on Colombia, like, fam, I'm not doing that. I love Colombia. I really do think they could be a Morocco, actually. I really do think, they've been struggling a little bit lately, but how could you not after going 27 or 24 wins straight? I do think Colombia has a chance to be a semifinal team. I really do think so. They got a really strong squad. But I'm not putting down $999 for 2 Club World Cup tickets and the hope that Colombia makes the final and then I get to buy the final. No. Especially since you can't plan travel and hotel ahead of the time without knowing which city you need to be in. And that's actually a good point for the Club World Cup tickets. For these Club World Cup tickets, you don't even know where you're going. So is FIFA going to tell you right off the bat? Who knows? Okay? And over here, Jordi, definitely not doing that for Mexico. I mean, you could easily not make this bet for half of the countries of the $1,499 list. USA, Canada, Mexico are not making the final. Let's just be completely honest about that. Right? USA, Mexico, Canada are not making the final. So why would you drop $1,500 for a right to buy that will not happen? Like, I think this is so guaranteed. This is so guaranteed. All right? If you're that damn desperate, pay the hospitality pack. Okay. Or, all right, and maybe this is a bit of an ad time. I am partnering with Absolute Sport. Okay? They're a sports travel agency that are providing travel packages, hotel, transportation to the game, and the game ticket for these teams at a much more reasonable price. You see these prices right here for these packs with the right to buy for the World Cup final and everything. If you want a 1-game package, a 3-game package, or even longer, you can hit me up. Okay? You can DM me directly or email me. Okay? Actually, DM me. DM me first. Okay? You can send me a message, a direct message, if you're interested in buying these travel packages. Okay? And I've talked with Absolute Sport. I did the math. They're reasonable. Obviously, you're paying for a service here to organize your hotel, your ticket, and your game day transportation. They don't cover flights. All right? But if you want more information about them, DM me afterwards. I'll hook you up with them folks. They'll give you the information. And if you decide to purchase, you go right ahead. The advantage here with these packages compared to On Location and the hospitality is that it's not a hospitality ticket. Okay? It's not a hospitality ticket. And it gives you hotel, game day transportation, breakfast, and other perks. So go ahead and DM me afterwards for more information. Okay? But yeah. Absolutely Nah, I got a comment here. Nah, I believe on el 3. If you believe in el 3, drop $1,500 right now. I want you to drop $1,500 right now, fam. Si tú le crees al 3, 1,500. That's gonna be the fave cost. You imagine Trump giving the trophy to Mexico? Woo! My God, he's gonna be so pissed about that. Oh my God, Trompito will be so pissed about that. It's not even funny. If you click on one of the countries, scroll down, it shows you the Club World Cup games they're giving you. Oh, it does. Okay, hold on a second. I must have totally missed it, or maybe when I saw it, it didn't show this. Hold on, let me see here. Where? Final. Okay, so maybe it's per each game for each country. Okay, let's go. Colombia. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it actually does give you the supply. Okay, it didn't show this earlier for me. My apologies, okay? So it actually does tell you the ticket. Well, at least one of them? Collectible. One ticket. 2 tickets. Oh, wow. So, okay, so it's not even one match. Okay, so 2 tickets, yeah. Category 1, okay. The tickets are expensive even for this, right? Okay, so if you're looking on the screen here on YouTube Live, thank you for pointing that out, Carlos, okay? Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't see this earlier, okay? So I really appreciate that. All right? Couldn't you just buy a final ticket for around this price resale? I mean, it's going to be more expensive, but sure, I guess you could do that if that ends up happening to be the case. So, yeah. Okay, so let's look at the Colombia pack. Let's go back to the Colombia pack here, okay? And I am on YouTube right now. YouTube showing the full display here of the right to the final packs, okay? And Diego, thank you for sharing, okay? Folks, keep tapping on the screen here. Keep following me on all socials. Again, I am live on YouTube. So, if you buy this right to the final for Colombia, again, you get 2 tickets to a game. And if Colombia makes the final, you get the right to buy for Colombia in the final, okay? So, the game you would get would be Club León versus Flamengo. I'm not dropping $1,000 for Category 1 tickets for that game. I'm not dropping $1,000 for that game. What, like, would anyone drop $1,000 for Leon versus Flamengo Category 1? And to have the right to buy the tickets for the final? Let me know in the chat. Would you pay $1,000 to bet that Colombia makes the final? Okay. Yes, and this will be for the Club World Cup, okay? You're paying $1,000 to get 2 tickets for Club León versus Flamengo. Okay, Club León versus Flamengo. And you get the right to buy for the final if Colombia makes the final. You got to pick your team, which you would pick in the collectible. I feel like this is a scam. Sure, it does sound like it. What's the odds? I don't know. I think Columbus is a strong contender to be a dark horse. I don't know about the final. Next question. I agree. The right to buy. Yes, right to buy meaning you're basically buying to be in the front of the line. And you're guaranteed that you will be able to buy a ticket. So you see how these packs are problematic. These packs are extremely problematic. You know? And Diego Morales asked, what category would they be? It looks like these are indeed Category 1. I'm going to go back to the Argentina one. Just to confirm that these will be Category 1s. I mean, like, they had to be Category 1s, okay? If we scroll down, okay, would you pay, all right, folks, here we go. Would you pay 3 tickets, $1,500 for 3 tickets for Boca Juniors versus Benfica? That's the next question. Let me know in the chat. Would you pay for 3 tickets, $1,500 to see Boca Juniors versus Benfica in this summer's Club World Cup? Category 1. Let me know. Chat. No. Okay? Again, let me repeat it. Would you pay $1,500 for Category 1 Boca Juniors versus Benfica for 3 people? It seems like it is a consensus no. I'm a Benfica fan, no chance. So, pretty much, skip this pack. Because we're going to have the same situation for all of these countries. All right. I'm gonna check one more country. Okay, let's check. You want to check? Let's check the host countries. Okay, let's check USA. Let's check USA. Would you pay $1,500 for Inter Miami versus Palmeiras? I'll check Colombia in a sec. I just did Colombia. It was Leon versus Flamengo for Colombia. For $1,500, 3 tickets, category 1. Inter Miami versus Palmeiras. Buy one, get one. Yeah, I think people want that, right? I think people would rather do buy one, get one. All right, let's check Mexico's. Mexico's pack. Would you buy 3 category tickets for the Club World Cup for River Plate versus Monterrey? $1,500. Anyone? Anyone? Would anyone buy 3 tickets? $1,500. Category 1. River Plate versus Monterrey. That's not bad. Oh, we got a sucker in the group. And you get the right to buy. But here's the thing. You get the right to buy if Mexico makes the final. So the right to buy to the final only works if Mexico makes the final. Okay? So that's the only way this pack works to some sort of benefit to you. I pay for that for Juve versus City. Okay, let's see. What about the Canada game? Or the Canada pack? Would you pay through... No. Really, Canada? It's Seattle Sounders versus Atletico Madrid. Look, I like the Sounders, but I'm not paying $1,500 category 1 for Sounders versus Atletico Madrid. Yeah, $1,500 divided by 3 is $500 tickets. Correct. So the whole premise of these packs is that if you pay either $1,500 or $1,000, you get 3 tickets, category 1, to a select Club World Cup match, and you get the right to buy if the team that you pick of the pack makes the final. You don't get the right to buy for the final regardless. No, your team that you purchase has to make the final. So let's check Spain. Okay. Would you pay $1,500 for Real Madrid versus Al Hilal? Ah, no, not for Al Hilal. What? Is anyone paying $1,500 for Real Madrid versus Al Hilal? There's no way. There is no way. Who can afford these tickets? I don't know. Yes, I saw the... Yeah, I think that's another group of Germans got deported. Damn, they're deporting the Germans. We're all screwed. Oh my God, no way. That's the game for Spain. That's the game for Spain, fam. For the World Cup final. Okay, that's the RTB, the right to buy. Let's check France. Would you pay $1,500 to go see PSG versus Botafogo? 3 tickets, category 1. And if France makes the final, you get the right to buy. So you get to see a World Cup game and a Club World Cup final? No, Eli. You have to, for this specific pack, you have to buy the pack of a team. Say, in this case, we're reviewing right now France. You're dropping $1,500 for 3 Club World Cup game tickets, category 1. For France, it's specifically to the PSG versus Botafogo game. And if France makes the final next summer, you get the right to buy for the final. But again, the premise is you're spending $1,500 on Club World Cup tickets. That's the premise here. And you have a 1 in 48 chance that your team makes the final. What are the odds on that? I mean, granted, France is probably more of the favorites, right? But if we're talking basic odds, your team has a $1,500 for a chance to spend more money if they make it. Correct. $1,500, and the right to buy if they make it. Overcharging for this tournament that they're struggling to sell tickets for. Yes, they're overcharging and they're refusing to drop the price. I want you to understand that, folks. FIFA is refusing to drop the price of the tickets. So please do not believe that the ticket prices for the World Cup are going to drop because the tourists aren't coming over because of the Trump immigration policies. Please understand that. If FIFA is so desperate not to drop the tickets right now for the Club World Cup, They ain't dropping shit for the World Cup. They ain't dropping nothing. Okay? Can I check on England? All right, let's just check. Let's just go through the whole list. Let's check through the whole list, okay? We can laugh at some of the games here, okay? FIFA's like an OnlyFans model. It won't drop the price until the end of the month when the bills are due. Oh my God. Hey. All right. If you buy the England pack, you get 3 tickets. Category 1, Flamengo versus Chelsea. Flamengo versus Chelsea. Are we going to buy that, fam? Are we buying that? Are we buying that pack? $1,500 for 3 Club World Cup games. 3 Club World Cup tickets. Category 1 for Flamengo versus Chelsea. Are we paying $1,500 for that? I mean, I guess if you're a Chelsea fan. Right? Correct, Les. Correct. I got excited that Ticketmaster wasn't involved, but this might be worse. I don't know, man. I don't know what's worse. I don't even have 2 friends today. Hey, let's work on that, all right? Gentlemen, please. Let's work on not being lonely, okay? Make friends. But yes, you probably don't have 2 friends that have that money to take. That's probably a fair statement there, all right? Okay, that was England. Let's check on Brazil. You would get 3 tickets for Fluminense versus Dortmund. These games are not worth $500, fam. Yeah, Carlos, we're gonna talk about the City Glory bundles in a second, all right? We're gonna talk about those in a second, all right? And I agree, FIFA does need a reality check on these prices. Netherlands, we're gonna check all the teams right away. For the Netherlands, you would get Monterrey versus Internazionale. Is your name Internazionale? Milano. Yeah, this is for Club World Cup. So the tickets they'll give you is for the Club World Cup, and then you get the RTB for the final if your team makes the final. Italy. If you buy the Italy pack, you would get the tickets for Internacional versus the Uruguay Red Diamonds. That game is not worth $500 a piece. That's Inter. Okay, that's Inter. Yeah. The collect drops are worth it. Again, we're reviewing. This one isn't worth it. Okay? Maybe some might be worth it, but that's what we're going to get to with the city packs in a second. Portugal, you would get Porto versus Al Ahly. I mean, that's a good game, I would say, but it's not worth $500 category 1, in my opinion. If you buy the Belgium pack, you get Salzburg versus Real Madrid. I don't know about that. Germany. Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors. I mean, look, basically none of these games are worth $500 of your time. You know, they're not worth to buy a Category 1 ticket, okay? Croatia, you would get the Sounders versus PSG. I mean, no, maybe $300, but not $500. So yeah. Al Hilal versus Pachuca. If you buy the Morocco packs, I mean, that's almost kind of worse almost. For Morocco, for Uruguay, you would get Fluminense versus Ulsan. That's definitely not worth $500. Sorry, I'm kind of going faster. I want to go to the other packs here. In the Japan, you would get Uruguay versus Monterrey. That's also not worth $500. Like, these games are not worth $500 Category 1. They're just not worth Category 1 $500, fam. They're not. They're absolutely not. All right. Let's take a quick ad break here, okay? I want to review the City Glory bundles next, okay? Everyone here on TikTok, thank you for joining me here, okay? I'm Travel Football Fan. I'm helping fans save money and travel the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I am live streaming now on YouTube if you want to see the packs live, like on the full screen. I know I'm not sharing it here because it just be a little bit complicated. I am sharing that screen, though, on Instagram, so thank you for joining me on Instagram as well, okay? Let's go ahead and go like 5 minutes, ask questions, and then I want to review the City Glory bundle packs because those packs are a little bit more interesting. They might make sense to some of you, okay? They might make sense to some of you, but not for everybody, okay? So let's take 5 minutes of questions. I want to review the City Glory bundle packs. Damn, we don't even have to get to choose the Club World Cup tickets. No. So I got to fly wherever the game is too. Exactly. So that's why that pack doesn't make sense because then you have to fly to those games. Wait, but are those luxury seats? No, Category 1s are basically like the sideline seats. They wouldn't be luxury seats, okay? But yeah, Trash Boat, that's a good question. FIFA just wants my money? FIFA would never. No, of course they want your money, Poppy. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to help you out. You know, help you decide if it makes sense for you to give them your money or not. I'm not working for FIFA. FIFA ain't paying me shit for this. Oh, man. Are you going to Gold Cup? I'm not going to Gold Cup because I'm all the way East Coast. Do I think that tickets are overpriced? I haven't even checked the prices of the tickets. I was away on holiday celebrating my wife's birthday this weekend, so I haven't checked prices on the Gold Cup. My advice is, if you feel like you're overpaying, you probably are overpaying. If you're not using Rakuten to get some cash back or Amex points, you're missing out on additional rewards. I do have a referral link for Rakuten, so go check that out. But yeah, I mean, I was never gonna do anything really with the Gold Cup unless they pay me, unless they fly me out, unless they give me the tickets. I'll consider it. But the way that the teams have been laid out, it's not really conducive to following your team. It's not set up in that way. So I personally wouldn't do it. Okay. For those prices, almost rather they give us options for round of 16 or quarters, maybe semis to get enticed better. Exactly. Might be going in blind, but better quality matches. Correct. That's correct. I think they're testing the waters. Hopefully they start tapering it into better options. Maybe. And they have, like I said, it was one pack maybe last week that seemed a little bit better. But again, this is all case by case, okay? That's why it's important for y'all to really look at these packs on a case by case basis. It might make sense for some of you. It might not make sense for some of you. But you got to look at it through and through, okay? If I may ask, what are your plans for the tournament this summer? I might go to one game here in Audi Field, but really not much else. I'm not really looking to go out of my way. The LA City Glory Bundle sold out. Well, I'm not surprised, but let's check and see what we got here, okay? Do you think the goal Messi score when the referee didn't blow a whistle was valid? I thought it was valid. I was at that game. I thought that goal was completely valid. How difficult do you think it would be to get opening game tickets? Extremely difficult. I think I like the ticket bundle with the RTB World Cup. It was kind of worthy. Again, it depends on what bundle that was. That might have been a while back. I just started tracking these, and I started realizing, you know what? It's good. It would be a good idea to track these packs, see if people are buying them, see if it's worth it or not. So it might have been worthy. Again, I can't give you my honest assessment on that. I saw prices like 400 at MetLife and the very last row at the top. Right there and there, I said that's way too much. Can't imagine the rest of these seats. For Club World Cup, yeah. Club World Cup is too overpriced. They should have put the prices of the Club World Cup the same price as the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand 2023. $20, $30, $40. That's how you would have brought everybody in. We would not have any stupid discussion of these packs, okay? And all the stadiums would have been sold out. This tournament would have been completely sold out if the tickets were $20. If the whole objective was grow the sport in America, that's how you do it. You tell people you can come watch this game for $20 effing dollars. Cheaper than a hotel room. Cheaper than a movie ticket. Sorry. Cheaper than a movie ticket. You get to see live in here. Even 60, 80, 100. I agree with that. You wanted to price it up a little bit more? Okay, fine. Fine. I get it. It's a business at the end of the day, right? I get it. Even 60, 80, $100, people would have come more to those games. I agree. But FIFA wanted to fucking steal everybody's money, man. You know? They want to steal everybody's money. If the Mexico City ticket opening game will be hard tickets, what do you think is the best option for a regular fan like me trying to go? Okay. So again, I am working with a sports travel agency called Absolute Sport. They have packages for you Mexican fans, or if you're not a Mexican fan, you just want to go to inaugural. We're working together. I get commissions off the sales. Okay, so just for full transparency, I am working with them as pretty much as a sales agent. I get commission off sales, but they would have access to those tickets. Now, they don't just sell the ticket. They're selling you a travel package, hotel, transportation to and from to the game, stadium stadium, and back to your hotel. And what is it? The hotel, game day, travel tickets, and other items involved there. If you're interested in those travel packages, they don't cover airfare, but everything else it's covered. Go ahead and DM me afterwards. Send me a message on either Instagram or TikTok. I will connect you with the folks at Absolute Sport. They'll send you an invoice on what package you are interested in, and then you go from there. I would say that's much better than the hospitality packages right now in terms of the price, and you at least get your hotel. Okay, and game day transportation. People like me, I love planning my travels. I absolutely love planning my travels. I use my points and miles. I love doing that shit, right? But I understand that for many of y'all, it's the worst thing in life. planning a trip. So let my partners at Absolute Sport take care of that for you. Again, go ahead and DM me afterwards. I'll share you some of the packages, what they have. Hopefully, it is within your budget. I mean, at least compared to what's out there in the market, at least compared to what these packs are showing you, I mean, at least you get the damn ticket guaranteed. So, so let's talk afterwards. DM me if you are interested in those packages for the World Cup. Okay. And again, if you want to look them up on Insta, I believe they are at Absolute Sport US, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right. Final questions here. I can't believe Leo's playing almost every game. I think actually, I'm actually surprised Messi's playing every game so far for Inter Miami. I am surprised at that. Yeah, considering that, you would want him more for the Champions Cup, But anyway, okay. Now let's take a look. Thank you for your question, by the way, folks. Thank you for your question. Let's take a look at these City Glory Bundle packs, okay? So, the other packs that are on sale right now that are of interest to us are these City Glory Bundle packs, okay? They are currently selling for Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, Miami, New York, New Jersey, and that's it. Yes, because LA got sold out. Correct. Okay? So, let's take a look at Miami. So, for $500, okay? So, the premise of this pack is this, okay? And folks, I hope you are following along, okay? So, each bundle, okay, randomly contains only one of the following combination rewards. So if you're looking at maybe this would be helpful if you were watching the page or if you have the website up, okay, it's collect.fifa.com/drops. I picked the City Glory pack for Miami, okay? You would get a combination. You get one of the following combo rewards. So you would get 2 tickets, Category 1, to a Club World Cup match. Again, either M7, M14, M37, M7, M14, M24, M35. And again, there's different games there, okay? And then you will get a right to buy to 2 tickets to a specific World Cup match, okay? It's not any, it's a specific combination, and it's on the website, okay? So you need to pretty much review the calendar for which Club World Cup games you could potentially get your tickets for, okay? So that means you're dropping $500 for 2 Category 1 tickets for a Club World Cup match, okay? 2 tickets, Category 1, okay? 2 tickets, Category 1 for $500. That's a better deal because at least that's $250 per ticket, okay? And I agree. You need to look at the Club World Cup schedule and the World Cup schedule. You need to do it side by side. Now, right now, we don't know who's playing in the World Cup, right? Because the draw hasn't happened. We don't know what games that would happen there. But for the Club World Cup, you need to see, okay, am I willing to risk $500 and I get the worst game of the 4 that they're potentially giving you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Now, there is a slight advantage for me saying, like, if like, for example, for the other packs, I said, no, completely skip it. This one is, not bad. Right. So I'm going to get there, all right? This pack could work for you if, here's the big if, in my opinion, if you live in the city. If you live in Miami or in Philly, New York, Atlanta, I think those are the cities. If you live in one of those cities, this pack might be good for you. Because the whole premise is you're buying 2 tickets for the Club World Cup. Sure, you didn't want to go to the freaking Club World Cup. Fine. Okay? But you then get the right to buy for 2 tickets for the World Cup. And these right to buys are tradable. Correct. That part I haven't really gotten into because I haven't really gotten into this, right? Correct. These right to buys are tradable. So you could potentially trade them for another game that you want to go to. Perfect. That would work. And Miami is going to be a pretty popular destination site anyway, so people might want to trade their right to buy for your right to buy. You could do that, right? That's correct, Carlos. That's correct. Okay. I would say that these City Glory bundle packs might be beneficial if you live in that city. Okay. If you live in that city, that's why I say might. Okay. I'm saving myself for the World Cup. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. I understand why you wouldn't drop $500 for 2 tickets, Category 1 for the Club World Cup. I totally understand it. But if you live in Miami, or in Philadelphia, or Atlanta, or Seattle, or New York, New Jersey, and along with Miami, 5 cities, you might want to look at this pack. You might want to look at these packs. Because I think it might make sense for some of you. Because what the pack is saying is, you're going to buy $500 of, well, LA just got sold out. That's why. Sorry. LA is sold out now. Okay? How much is the pack? The same, $500. You're in Seattle. So what the pack is telling you, okay, pay attention, right? What the pack is telling you is you're going to pay $500 for 2 Club World Cup tickets. What game? We will tell you, right? In this case, there's 3 potential bundles for you, Seattle. There's 3 potential games you can get for the Club World Cup, right? M5, M10, M19. Okay, so again, you need to have the Club World Cup schedule right next to you, okay? And then you'll get a right to buy for 2 tickets in Seattle. And it's not going to be the U.S. game. I think that's another distinction, especially for Seattle. It's not the U.S. game. I wish they would release Category 3 for these bundles for a lower price. I think a lot of people might do that, actually. Carlos, that's a good point. I think a lot of people would do the right to buys for Category 3 tickets. Funny enough. And again, I think this is where FIFA's missing the point. If FIFA's watching, let me give you some free consulting advice. Lower your tickets. Lower the price of these effing tickets. Lower the price of these bundles. Give Category 3 tickets. Like, read the room. Read the room, right? Read the room. People are not going to drop mad money like this for a tournament they're not really familiar with. They are saving for the World Cup as they should be. But if you offered $100, that might get a little bit interesting. Now, mind you, it depends on the game, right? They're not going to give the U.S. game for the Seattle pack, for sure. They're not doing that. You're the only one exposing them. I mean, it's not about exposing, although I understand why it looks that way. It's more about consumer advocacy. I want to make sure you guys don't get ripped off. It's as simple as that. If those World Cup tickets are for the quarterfinal game in Miami, definitely worth it. No. It's all group stage. These are all group stage games for the World Cup in these packs. That's it. It's only group stage. I think the ticket I got was 2 Club World Cup for $320 for both, and then eligible for a World Cup ticket. Okay. I mean, it does say, okay, pre-taxes equals, what's the price there? What's the price there? $422 pre-tax. Hell no, then. Well, yeah, it's group stage. Again, they want to make sure that they're not selling all the big money games. No, this is for group stage. Okay. So, again, folks, if you live in one of these cities, it might make sense to buy them. If you're not looking to travel for the World Cup, it might make sense to buy this pack. Okay? Because again, the thing is, okay, I'll go to the Club World Cup. Fine. But at least I know I will be able to buy World Cup tickets group stage next summer. I've guaranteed I don't have to worry about the lottery. I don't have to worry about anything else. And if you're not going to travel, you're going to stay in Philly because you're in Philly, that might work out for you. It might work out for you. So again, the City Glory bundle packs are available for Philadelphia, for Atlanta, for Seattle, for Miami, and for New Jersey. It has been sold out for LA. Okay? It has been sold out for LA. Okay? All right, there are 2 more packs here that I can review, and I would love to review before we hit the 1 hour mark. But I'm happy to answer any questions right now, folks. Again, I'm a travel football fan. I'm helping fans save money and travel to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I am reviewing live on YouTube the FIFA Collect Packs that are available today on Monday, April 21st. We reviewed the Right to the Final RTB. It's total skip. Do not buy that one. I reviewed the City Glory bundle. If you live in that city and you're not looking to travel, it might make sense for you to buy. And then now we're going to go ahead and review a specific Glory bundle. 2 that are available for Miami and Kansas City. We're going to take a quick look at those before we end today's live. Kind of sad thing to say, but I'm honestly wondering if it makes more sense to just wait for 2030. It might make more sense. Granted, if they do expand that tournament to 64 teams, it's gonna be stupid. Like how much that expansion is gonna be. So yeah, it might be possible. So yeah. Yes, Emiliano, I am talking about the Club World Cup versus World Cup packets. I am doing live stream live on YouTube. So if you missed, if you just got here, you can watch the rest of it later on today on YouTube. It will be available for you folks once I publish the video up there on YouTube. It will be under lives. It will be under live streams. Okay. Why is Kansas City not hosting Gold Cup or Club World Cup? They're just not hosting. Are the RTB's World Cup game for Atlanta that's going to be hosted in that city glory bundle? Yeah. So if I quickly go back to the Atlanta pack, 81 have been claimed, and there's a supply of 180 of them. As you can see here, it'll be 2 tickets, Category 1 for a Club World Cup match, and then one RTB for 2 tickets. It does not specify Category 1, by the way. I think that's also important to understand. They might give you nosebleeds for World Cup. Okay? So keep that in mind, okay? The Category 1 will be for FIFA Club World Cup, but then the one RTB for the World Cup is not Category 1. It might not even be Category 2. I would highly anticipate those right to buys for the World Cup to be Category 3. They're not going to want to give away those Category 1 tickets just like that, okay? So yeah, I know it's good to diversify the tournament by rather quality over quantity. I agree. The tickets might be cheaper for the World Cup. Might be. It might be, and I agree because they won't be on Ticketmaster. It might be, but we'll have to. But these packs are kind of giving us weird indications. You know. So yeah. Creo que me sale bien comprar ese de $500 porque yo vivo aquí en New Jersey gratis, bro. Bueno, no es que sea gratis necesariamente, hermano, pero que si tú no planeas viajar por el mundial, ok, ahí te sale bien. Y recuerda, lo que estás comprando es, prácticamente lo que estás comprando es las 2 boletas para el mundial de clubes, ¿no? Y la oportunidad de comprar la boleta para el mundial. Sí, si tú crees que el valor de no tener el estrés, de asegurarte la boleta, vale esos $500, ok, ya ahí sí tú decides. Yo sí iría, si tú no piensas en viajar, si tú solamente vas a estar en tu ciudad, en tu casa en Nueva Jersey, ok, veo la razón por qué comprar este City Glory Bundle. Ahí sí le doy más justificación para comprarla, digamos, comparando a los otros productos, ¿no? Ahí ya en ese sentido ya tiene más sentido. To those looking for Mexico tickets, if you aren't on Collect already, you're going to miss out, fam. Yeah, but right now we have no Mexico tickets right now, or no Mexico packs available. Okay. Let me review quickly the other 2 packs here that you might have seen for bigger prices, okay? Give me 1 second over here. Okay, 1 second. Can they buy it on the marketplace? Not the Club World Cup tickets. Okay. I tried the collection and didn't get anything. Yeah, that's the thing. So we're doing different. I'm reviewing different packets, and I am running a full playlist on TikTok whenever new packs drop. Okay, Instagram. Sorry, I don't have the ability to make it into a playlist, but yeah, I do have that playlist available on TikTok. Okay, so let's quickly review. All right, to complete this review of these packs, at least the ones that are available on Monday, April 21st. This Glory Bundle for Miami and for Kansas City specifically, okay? So let's take a look. And as you can see here, by the way, I don't know if you see it on the screen, there's 35 of them claimed for Miami, only 8 for Kansas City. Let's see why, okay? So for the Kansas City Glory Bundle, okay, you would get Category 1, 1 ticket to 3 Club World Cup matches, not tradable, and then 1 right to buy for 1 ticket to the quarterfinal match in Kansas City. Okay, so then the games you would get, okay, let's see here. So this exclusive release includes, okay, so again, it gives you 1 ticket to 3 Club World Cup matches, not tradable, and it doesn't tell me what game. No, it does tell you the game. So it would be Auckland City versus Boca Juniors, Borussia Dortmund versus Ulsan, and Al Hilal versus Pachuca. Now, I believe this pack, it was Nashville, Cincinnati, Nashville. Okay? And so there was a lot more travel involved here, so this pack doesn't make sense, right? Because you're having to go to 3 different cities this summer to get the quarterfinal in Kansas City. What if you don't live in any of those cities? Then you're screwed. And soccer guy, if I'm not good at gambling, I definitely won't get lucky with those packs. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, brother. Good way to look at it. All right. If we wait to the regular release in September, do we have an idea on the release process? No, we don't know yet. I will be sure to give you that video on that later. How to get tickets for the inaugural match in Vancouver? There is no inaugural match in Vancouver. I mean, there's a game 2 for Canada. The first game in Vancouver, we don't have details on the process. I just ordered the Houston World Cup poster. Yeah, the artist who drew the is una muchacha, yeah, Stephanie Leal, I think was her name. Tune in with the soccer in the state, so I'm glad her drawing won. You doing a tourney to pick the best poster? You know, I should do a review of the posters. I'll take a look at it. But yeah, her poster was pretty cool. I will say that. Anyway, going back to the bundles here. Okay, so again, bring the World Cup to Qatar, back to Qatar. I mean, shoot, at this point we might as well. But again, so for this pack, yeah, you had to travel a lot to go to a city that, you know, at least by the demand of this, does not seem to be getting a lot of traction. And this was the one rare time where FIFA did drop the price of this pack from $14.99 to $11.99. That was very interesting to see. Now, for Miami, okay, for this glory bundle for Miami, you get the one RTB for 1 ticket for the quarterfinal match in Miami, and then you get 1 ticket to 3 Club World Cup matches. And I believe all of these are in Miami, which made this pack a lot more valuable in the sense that you don't have to travel, you know, all around just to, you know, get the RTB, to get the quarterfinal RTB. So I felt the Miami one was better. I'm still not dropping $1,500 for these games. I mean, granted, it is a category 1. It is for one person only. Okay. But yeah, I just had a difficult time justifying buying this. But if you had the money, and you really felt like you wanted that quarterfinal match in Miami, then sure, you would go ahead with this pack. But again, if there is a theme here, okay, and maybe this is where we're gonna go ahead and wrap up and review all of this, okay. If there is a lesson to be learned from these packs, okay, is that you have to be doing your research, lining up the numbers, looking at the match schedule, see what games you might have a chance to get for the Club World Cup, for the World Cup. Do those dates align with you? You have to do your research through and through, because I might be able to give you a recommendation here or there, but honestly, that is really up to you guys. You folks have to decide for yourselves, hey, is this ticket worth it or not? Okay? That's what y'all have to do. Okay? Is there a way to consult with you? Yes, I do offer travel consultations on my website, travelfootballfan.com. You can sign up for a consultation there. You can. All right? Saludos. All right, folks. Questions, feedback, thoughts. What are y'all thinking? Again, I am partnering with Absolute Sport, a sports travel agency, in order to help folks plan the World Cup travels. I love planning my own travels, but I understand that for many of you, it is a pain in the ass. So if you want to work with Absolute Sport, they will get you your ticket to game day. You know, not hospitality, but they'll give you a ticket. All right? What else? They're going to get you transportation to and from the hotel that they will also book for you. Breakfast included at the hotel, travel insurance. You want your travel more organized by other people? Let me connect you to the folks with Absolute Sport. Go ahead and send me a DM or email me. I'll send you their package rates. And if it works out for you, great. I am working with them on commission, so any sales that do happen, I will get a commission percentage off of that. So it's a great way to support my work here as we lead up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Okay. So again, I am working with Absolute Sport for World Cup travel packages, which would include your ticket. Probably an easier process than some of the other vendors right now. So again, go ahead and hit me up via email or on the DMs. Okay. Other questions we got here. Okay. Other questions. Paulina, I might have just answered your question about multiple tickets for multiple people. Again, Absolute Sport. I'm working with them on a commission basis. They're selling those travel packages. It will guarantee you a ticket. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do the lottery process. That might work out for you. That might not work out for you. So yeah, that's basically the process. Okay. How big of a crap show will this World Cup be? Um, I'm more concerned about the lack of tourists coming to the country and thus, you know, not being a commercial success. That's my biggest concern. Will they offer any services for the World Cup? Who? Quintana for who? Absolute Sport. Those packages are for the World Cup. Sorry, apologies. Those packages would be for the World Cup. So again, feel free to send me a DM if anything. Okay. And folks, thank you so much for the follows. Again, everywhere. Thank you for the follows. Make sure you're following me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Insta, my TikTok. I do have a newsletter on my website. Again, if you need a consultation, go ahead and sign up through my website as well, travelfootballfan.com. Okay? So again, thank you so much for all your support in that respect. Yo he ido a un partido en España, ¿sabes? Fui para ver Rayo Vallecano cuando estuve de regreso a Marruecos. Estuve ahí casi dos noches estaba en Madrid. So yeah. Okay. What other questions you got, folks? What other questions you got? All right. As someone who doesn't live in a whole city, it seems like a nightmare trying to get tickets without going broke. In a way, yes, but you also have to keep it into account the travel. Were the online consultations different from the absolute consultations? Yes, because so my consultations are just $40, and I'm gonna help you prepare your World Cup travel plan. Whereas with Absolute Sport, there's no obligation to buy, but they're gonna pretty much, there's a list of packages that they can sell you, and if you wish to buy one of those travel packages, you can with them. But then that's significantly a lot more money. I would say comparable, if not better than some of these FIFA Collect Packs for sure. I would say that. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to DM me or send me an email as well. Okay. Would you be able to help with Champions League games? Not at the moment. At least I can't. I would have to ask Absolute Sport. I don't think they do Champions League games. So no, let's just say no for that. If you can't afford all this, they have Premier League teams coming in July. I mean, yeah, but those are just friendlies, to be honest. What country will be the hardest to acquire or most expensive? I think all of them, honestly. I mean, but granted, obviously the host nations. All right, you're going to send me a DM? Dale. DM me, and I'll be able to send you the information, okay? It's a little bit more complicated going the other way, So DM me if you're more interested on information from Absolute Sport, okay? If I bought 3 hospitality spots, am I a step ahead? Most 3 hospitality spots, you mean the deposits? If you only done the deposits, you're not ahead of anybody. So yeah. If you've only done the deposits, you're not ahead of anybody. Okay? Folks, for those of y'all joining in just now, we're wrapping up our conversation about the FIFA Collect Packs that are available today on April 21st. I am going to put this live on YouTube, on my YouTube account, so please make sure to subscribe there, and you'll be able to see it through and through from the beginning. We've only been live for about an hour or so it won't be a long view in that respect, okay? So yeah. Okay. I'm a huge Chelsea fan, but saving for actual World Cup prices me out of the Club World Cup. Yes, absolutely. And yes, you can DM me on Instagram. Please do DM me on Instagram. I already got one of your messages from one of you, so that's great. So again, folks, the review here of this is do not buy the right to the final pack. The City Glory Bundle pack might make sense for those of you that live in that city, and of the Glory Bundle Pack for the quarterfinal match at either Miami or Kansas City. Miami's makes more sense because all the games would be in Miami compared to Kansas City. Kansas City, there's a lot more travel involved. Okay? That's basically the review of the of these packs for today. Okay? How hard would it get to get opening day tickets? Hard. Again, the folks I'm working with, Absolute Sport, they can get you a ticket to the opening game, I believe, but it will be in a package. So it might not just be the game there, but you would also have to purchase their hotel package, their transportation package. So again, if you're interested in learning more about those travel packages, please feel free to DM me or email me to receive more information on those travel packages, and at least we'll get you the ticket into these games. Those packs are still not worth it, but hopefully the pressure obligates FIFA to help us out. Yeah, that's really the whole point of doing all this work too. Is that This gives you a platform. You'll be surprised. I'm sure FIFA has watched my stuff. That's probably why they didn't want to give me a Club World Cup ball to begin with. Because they came through DC. FIFA, don't think I didn't see that shit. I know y'all came through DC. Y'all came through DC, didn't knock on my door to give me a ball. You didn't give me one of them Club World Cup balls. And if it's because you feel like I'm talking shit about Club World Cup, fam, I'm being a consumer advocate. All right? If you want people to get ripped off, man, that's your job. My job is to advocate for people. So I know they came through DC. They did the photo shoot with at the Lincoln Memorial and everything. All right? I know that I came through. So they didn't give me a damn ball. Oh, man. Is there anything else we can do to sign up for tickets when they initially release? There really isn't much else you can do, fam. I mean, there's no magic sauce to all this, unfortunately. That's just kind of the reality of it. There really isn't much else. And, of course, FIFA hasn't released the process of how they're going to sell these tickets. So that also hasn't really helped, you know? That also hasn't really helped, okay? All right, other questions related to the packs we just discussed. Other questions related to Club World Cup travel, my collaboration or my work with Absolute Sport. Please ask any questions below. Joey, you're welcome. You're welcome for the information right here. Happy to wrap up in about the next 10-15 minutes. Just so that we keep the video nice and short right there. Has getting World Cup tickets always been this hard? Yeah, it's always been hard. It's always been hard. We appreciate your info content. No, thank you. Thank you for your sintonia, as always. Yeah, man. Hey, look, at the end of the day, it is about helping folks save money. We don't need to be paying extra money, when especially the economies might be getting a little bit hard, in the next couple of months. So we need to be very strategic with our money, and that's always been my ethos of doing travel football, fan. It's about being financially, smart, being financially strategic with how you spend your money, with how you go about, these packs with the Club World Cup, with the World Cup, the Gold Cup. I've barely talked about the Gold Cup. Bro, it's like, for me, the Gold Cup is almost like it does not exist. That Gold Cup does not exist for me, man. That tournament is like, yo, who the hell are you? Y'all don't exist. Like, seriously. I almost just do not want people to go to Club World Cup. I get why. Guatemaltecos, los Salvadoreños, like everybody else. This might be your time to shine. You might even not make the World Cup still. So this might be your time to shine. But yeah, again, I just wish people weren't as greedy AF. Lower the ticket prices. Honestly, you want full stadiums? Lower the ticket prices. It's as simple as that. It's just so dumb that people overthink this stuff. It really is dumb that people overthink this. All right. Okay, final questions. I think I am going to wrap it up in the next 2 minutes. 1 hour, 10 minutes, we're going to wrap it up. Final questions. I mean, yeah, the Gold Cup. I mean, the Gold Cup is definitely for the sickos. For the soccer sickos. They want to see Suriname or who's Suriname versus Dominican Republic. That's a sicko soccer game. That's actually my type of game. I actually do want to see that game, okay? Give me $20. I want to see Suriname, Dominican Republic. Let's go. Sickos mode activated. I love international soccer. Small fish here, but traveling for soccer is awesome. I'm not just a newbie, but I'm going by the cheapest way, but so far I've gone worth it. Good. Listen, do you the way you want to travel, okay? And if you want to learn how to use travel points and miles, that's where you book my consultation with me. I can teach you how to use travel points and miles to do that. Big fan of the Nishu card, though. Very important topic to cover for all fans. Nah, hey, man, and I appreciate it. I know sometimes, it might seem like I do a lot of politics talk, especially with the recent times, but I think what we're all noticing, hopefully, is that there is this convergence between politics, between sports, between the economy, between tourism. All of these factors are like coming in, colliding all at once. And yeah, I just happen to be in the middle of it in the sense of like I am able to talk about these different topics in a way that hopefully, and it looks like most of you have been able to, appreciate, support, and understand, which that's really all I could ask for from y'all. So again, really appreciate that. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna start knocking off on Instagram and TikTok here. So again, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Dale, mi gente. Ahí nos vemos.